We just thought, what a great way to end the week.
Yeah.
Truly, that was a great segment, and I'm just grateful that you came on, and I'm especially grateful for the pie.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Employee of the week, we're just make it of the year, Tyler Morrell of Coco's Pizza. That's it for us for the week. We'll be back. By the way, the entire episode of Let Them Eat Bugs, not quite as good as pizza, streaming now on Fox Nation. Use the promo code ORIGINALS for 30 days free. And we'll be back on Monday. In the meantime, have the best weekend with the ones that you love, and we'll see you then.
Oh, such a sweet sign-off. On Friday, Tucker Carlson signed off. He'll be back next week. There's even another stupid-ass promo of a ridiculous series he has. Maybe it's okay. I'm just going off of the previous ones. But it is Monday. And last I checked, there's no return of Tucker Carlson. Well, that's happening a little bit later this evening. Let's look at this statement from Fox News to discover exactly why Tucker is not coming back. Yeah, that's the news. Here's the statement. Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. Oh, damn. We thank him for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a contributor. Mr. Carlson's last program was Friday, April 21st. Fox News Tonight will air live at 8 Eastern starting this evening as an interim show helmed by rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named. That's pretty basic, Burbank. Come on, bro. How do we really know what happened? Of course, the questions are being asked. Did he quit? Was he run out of there? This Dominion settlement of $787 million, was that part of it? We saw this backroom deals and, backroom texts and messages that were said, how much he hates Donald Trump. Was Donald Trump a part of it? Did he get some inside, inner action with some of the higher ups at Fox and say, get Tucker's ass out of there? He said he hates me and despises me and wishes to never talk about me again. You know that stuck with him. This may be the one thing that everyone truly misses from Tucker Carlson's show.
It's got to be a big misunderstanding.
Maybe it is, Burbank. What are you thinking? What's happening here? What's going on? I need some expertise.
Fox News is just all tuckered out, Jr. I don't know what to tell you. It's crazy. They're like, I can excuse a violent insurrection, but I draw the line at you costing us $1 billion. It's like, their priorities are so screwed up. And I love that they're like, we're going to pick a new host. They're not like, we're replacing the show. So it's just going to be like Tucker Carlson tonight, now with Ben Shapiro. No. They act like they're not going to have to completely restructure evening news at Fox. And like, this is no big deal and just a weekend firing. This is huge. This is crazy. This is going to change politics in America.
To what degree, though? Because that's the next question. Honestly, I was wondering what you think, because I remember Jank before said, oh, one day Tucker's going to get, eventually leave the show and do all this stuff, leave or fire, whichever. And then he's going to go on to this world of politics. He might run for president. And I was like, Jank, you're effing crazy. Now the speculation must swirl. What do you think, though?
Yeah, I'm concerned because I saw my buddy Jackson Hinkle tweet out that it could be a Carlson-Trump 2024 situation, and that's what he endorses. That is worse, maybe, than Tucker Carlson having the ear of thousands of millions of Americans on cable news. That's an absolute nightmare, especially because Tucker Carlson is such an effective communicator. And it really makes you wonder, would he have more power as vice president or something, or in public office, or does he actually have more power when he can sow the political narrative in the country? He is extremely effective at what he does. That's the one thing we'll give him. And it's terrible that he's so effective at what he does, because he makes this brand of dangerous right-wing populism sound like something that would help everyday American people, when we know at the end of the day, he's just like all of the other right-wing media personalities, where the impact of his work is that he's making people vote for those who will help corporations continue to exploit labor in America and continue to exploit our resources and control our political process. And so it's scary when someone that effective is in a position where he gets to talk all the time. And so I do think politics will change. I think he sort of does that in a way that's irreplaceable.
When I talk a lot about how it's these things that we allow to happen, or we see legislators make these rules and just move on like everything's okay. It's an indictment on our society and the way that we accept things, the way we do stuff, and the way they're reading it, and the way that they'll present things to us to then gain more power and control over our lives and continue to destroy it while we applaud with it. So things like that, being a person who can speak to this many people and convince them of ridiculous points of views and blatant lies, it means something. It's why Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to start another podcast. Matt Gaetz is on a podcast. These all folks want to jump on Fox News all the time because it's being able to control the narrative does a lot for these policies that they try and put forward, which then leads, of course, to the way that people could respond to this. When I forget which one was Newsmax, it was OAN when they were getting booted from DirecTV, and like Congress members, Kevin McCarthy, all of them were in front of cameras and podiums talking about how they're going to fight for OAN. I was like, this is your network, or are you a politician that's supposed to be fighting for Americans? They know how important it is for folks to be following these folks and for them to communicate a certain way. So many folks were, of course, celebrating. It was trending. Tucker Carlson, and also that there is a God. Those two things were trending. This is graphic 3, you guys. As we saw it popping one more down from that, as it was popping all over Twitter. So folks were celebrating, but then a couple of the allies of Tucker weren't very happy about it. Here's a couple. Team USA, this random person, says, absolutely disastrous move by Fox. This was the only show on Fox I watched. Come on, bro. I'm completely done with them. Who's with me? I hope Newsmax hires Tucker. Guess they're expecting him to stay within the field. Another person, Texas Nana of 3, my husband and I are officially done with them. Fox, Tucker was the last show we watched. A big mistake. They will lose millions of viewers. Well, they've already lost hundreds of millions of dollars. One more at the bottom. Let's jump down to number 6, though, actually, you guys. Number 6, Carrie Lake. She says, the best decision I ever made was leaving Fox. Didn't know she was there. Good for you, Tucker. You're free and uncensored. The spin always has to be, now you're free to do whatever you want. Because, when he was at Fox News, he wasn't able to do anything he wanted. He couldn't spew all kinds of lies. He couldn't say random things. He was apparently shackled to the truth, or is it lies? Which one is it? We already heard what he had to say about things behind the scenes. And one last one, just because I'm going to give you guys a full picture. Because I listened to him as well, but Steve Bannon said after he left, there's no reason watching anything at that Murdoch empire. He said Jesse Waters is kind of okay, but that's kind of it. Yo, you listen to the folks who support people like Tucker, and you see where their worries are versus where they're happy about it, and then you can kind of tell maybe where this is going. You got last thoughts here?
Yeah, I think you made a good point. Where you get your news is very important, and there's so many places where people can insert their biases. Number one, what stories are you picking? Number two, how are you going to tell the story? Are you going to say there was an officer involved shooting and we have to guess how the officer was involved? Or are you going to say that an unarmed black man was shot by the police after they showed up at the wrong address? Are you going to post pictures of the kid smoking a blunt or the kid in marching band? There are so many places where Tucker inserted his biases when presenting information to people, and they trusted him with giving them information about the world around them without having time to really do a lot of research themselves about the news. That's really what cable news is for. People work all day long. They don't have time to read all of the articles and do all of the research. And so Tucker Carlson really had people's trust and was giving them information about the world in a way that influenced how they see our political process. When we think about our politics, Tucker Carlson made things up for grabs that really shouldn't be. He framed public programs like education, like healthcare, all of these things that should be provided by us pooling together our collective resources. He made it seem like that was some kind of evil communism, and that would somehow be bad for people who would actually benefit from these public programs. We shouldn't have someone who's responsible for telling you the news, what happened that day, also have the power to convince you things are a political decision when that should just be what everybody expects from their government. That shouldn't be considered politics. And so he pushed the country so far to the right and pulled us away from things that are just like good for general humanity.